Hey everyone, I'm Nate Pacyga. I've been building software for over 20 years and AI has me hooked on vibe coding in a big way. If you love creating tools that make life easier, you're in the right place. Today, we're taking our social media manager to the next level with a full calendar system, auto scheduling, and a new feature I like to call smart posting. You won't want to miss smart posting because it's something no tool has ever done before. Let's jump in. We're going to continue with the kind of posting section here. We're going to work on save as a draft. With this save as a draft functionality, kind of came up with a very descriptive prompt to put in the box here. So we're going to fire that off and see how the AI handles it. Okay, so the save as draft works just fine. I just had one little minor modification I had to do, but I got it working just fine. So I'm happy with that functionality. We're actually going to get into something a lot crazier. So we're going to build something that I'd like to call YOLO mode, but we're calling it Smart Post. And that is the ability to drop a bunch of files onto a box, much like our media drop. And then it's going to auto title, auto description, auto settings, and auto schedule. So that will be great to be able just to have this ability to be able to drop a bunch of files. It's going to go and talk to all these services, and it's going to just get all of our information for us, our title, description, settings, whatever. In this case, YouTube, but I want it to work for TikTok, Instagram, X, all that. So you take a bunch of files, you would drop it onto this, it would list them all out, and then go and use the transcription service first, and then it would go and use ChatGPT or whatever other LLM we want to wire up to, API we want to wire up to, get title and description. We have our pre-made settings on this kind of file drop. And after the file drop, if we want to kind of set up some settings, we have that, over here, something like that. And then it's going to auto upload all of those to a schedule. So I love that feature. I really want that. So I'm building that. And I think that a lot of other people would like that too, to be able just to have a bunch of videos and AI kind of takes care of all of it for us. After we kind of get this initial prototype done, I have a vision for being able to kind of, edit the title and description if you want to for these various platforms. But I want to kind of get started on this on this kind of base functionality, get the idea down. I have some reservations about it, and I think that we're going to probably have to iterate a little bit, but I think this will be a very useful feature for myself and for other people. So I came up with a really huge gross prompt for it, which looks like this. And it's this whole description here. So you can pause the video and read that if you really want to. If not, I took that and I actually put this into ChatGPT and said, hey, just kind of described it a little bit more like what I'm up to. And then just could you come up with a better way to say it to Replit? So I kind of got it in this code format. Otherwise, copy and pasting doesn't really look too good in terms of formatting. And we are going to put that right here within our prompt box. So I'm going to let that cook. I'll probably have to do some other changes to it and iterate on it a little bit, and I'll be back with the results. It built out the Smart Post page, and it's looking pretty good, though I'm only able to select LinkedIn, and the AI says it's because I have that only selected on the accounts, but it should be coming in on a user call to enable these buttons. That and also in the Composer, you're able to select whatever social network. So I've made that correction here on the Agent 3, and I'm going to send that prompt in to see if we can get that corrected kind of across all of the various social network selected platforms. So, we can't select any of them if we're not connected to them, and then to have instructions that you need to connect your social platform if it's not highlighted. So after a little bit of work, we got the account and platform selection set up, and that is done, of course, on the user account syncing, and it looks to see what platforms you have wired up, and we have our connected accounts here. We also have that on the Composer here, and then when we try to click, it says account not connected, so that's really nice. So we are working on the Smart Post system, and so we are going to see how the video drop works. Let me grab a couple videos here. Let's drag them over. I've got 3 of them. Let's see what happens. Okay, error processing the video. Please select one platform. Okay, so it doesn't let you just, upload the videos and then select the platform. We have to do that before uploading the video. So I have a preset here that's also working, and I can delete presets. So that's really nice. I can fill this out, and then I can save the preset, give it a name, and then I'll add it to the drop down here. but I already have one saved. Probably going to change this custom thumbnail later though. All right, let's try this again. Gathering social network information. Oh, okay. So I haven't tested this at all, guys. I like testing it right in front of you and seeing what happens and then responding to it. Okay, so remember we had that really long prompt where it is going to do the transcriptions. Hidden IDs. I don't know what that one is. Okay, well, we'll see how this goes and I'll come back with the result because this could take a little bit of time. Okay, the process is working now. I've actually had to work through a number of various issues, including just round tripping with the transcript, then over to ChatGPT, and then uploading to AirShare and the details to AirShare and the title, description, all of that. So I've actually worked through a number of issues with that, but that's what you have to do with a number of these types of projects. And that may sound daunting, but really it is about kind of going through the server logs and then just copying and pasting a lot of the errors. With my engineering background, that does help with kind of saying, hey, I think you could be messing up this part or that part. That is true. But I do believe that if you do pass in a lot of the errors, the AI will figure it out and kind of trudge through it. Is that a little bit painful? Sure, but it is possible, and it's really not that bad. It's more about just persistence and sticking with it. I can see if the previous events are coming up here, but like you can see here, invalid post details. That's just me, putting in that into the prompt and looking at the logs. Hey, the status update as videos are being uploaded, transcribed, and getting the title and description, but they're not being uploaded to AirShare. So things like that. So the smart post system is working, and I love it. I got to tell you guys, this is a problem that I have, that I assume a lot of other people have, where you don't want to sit there dealing with a lot of the kind of drudgery of social media. You just kind of want to be, hey, I made some clips, they're edited, please just caption them for me, come up with the title and description, and just get them up there. And you can kind of like edit things as you go on your channel or your various social media platforms. So in this case, again, YouTube, we have some presets here. And I threw some shorts up here into this Dropbox. And then over here on AirShare, here are the two clips. So here are the two clips that I dropped in there. And it came up with the title description. For some reason, it doesn't show the title in AirShare's interface, but it is there. I checked the data myself, and I haven't uploaded these to YouTube quite yet because they're scheduled out, right? Because that's what we did in this interface was we wanted to have these clips be scheduled out and not be posted automatically. So I'm going to kind of see about the other features here and come back with that, but I kind of wanted to just go over what this is actually doing. So again, we have our videos. We want to drop them into the file drop. So the file drop, and then we wanted that file drop to then upload those clips to our transcription service. And then that went up to a server. So that's nice. And then from the transcription service, it went over to ChatGPT with that transcription to then make a summary of the title and the description. And then from there, it uploaded to AirShare, and they spell it funny, AYR. So it went up to AirShare, and then that is going to go to our socials. So in this kind of flow, almost kind of looks like a N8N or a make.com kind of workflow, but we actually did all of this within Replit, which is pretty cool. So that's the kind of flow that we did and what we were looking for. And I am really happy with that. And that is a tool that I personally wanted. And I think that the internet at large would be happy with that too. And if you guys jump into my school, you'll be able to get the code for this and be able to make your own tool for yourself and hook it up to your own AirShare. Or if you have a different API, social API service you want to use, you can go ahead and do that. Continuing on, we're going to jump into the calendar component. And when we click on an entry, we want it to display all the entries, social media entries it has. Probably as like a pop-up. Let's see what it does though, based off this prompt that I have, that I want it to list out all of the posts for each platform in kind of a nice little like sort of pop-up list. So just kind of have them listed out here. And then when you click on one, we'll work on that next, but it'll display the details for the posts that the pop-up has. So let's just see how it displays the information, see how this goes. We'll check back in when that is all done. Okay, so the calendar update is done and, you know, it's looking pretty good. So didn't need to do anything else besides what you guys saw in the last update there. So when you click on the calendar update, you get this nice little list like that. That's cool. And when you click on it, you see the content. So this would actually be what would be in the description. So maybe that could be labeled a little bit better. And down here, you can see the actual JSON that we sent over to AirShare. So that would be the actual title. Here would be the description. So I think what we need to do here is we want to be able to make everything editable. The media is not pulling down, so I'll probably have to tell it, hey, you know, go hit up AirShare for the media and have that be displayed here and kind of previewed here. I think that'd be kind of nice. I mean, it's not over the top. It's a little, you know, a little over the top. But anyways, let's just keep on moving on here with trying to see if we can get these details edited. Oh, did a little refresh there. Okay. So here we're going to do a prompt to do edit. So it's going to be an update. So it's going to be on the post API, and that's going to be a patch call. So I'm getting that information from the actual API documents from AirShare, and I copied the example and put that into prompt. So we're going to send that in, and we're going to see what it comes up with. One thing I do want to note that I'm going to probably do off camera here is I've actually been doing a lot of editing on AirShare itself, meaning the social media posts. All right, let's find it here on the post itself. So if we go to schedule, there's actually, it says just 2 of 2. It's actually a lot more than that, or at least Replit, our database, thinks there's a lot more. I keep deleting these because I don't want them to actually get scheduled and pushed out to YouTube. So if you look at this, my calendar is mismatched with that data. So we are now adding that functionality to be able to make sure that they're in sync and they don't get mismatched. So I'm probably going to go in the database here, and I'm going to delete a lot of the posts that were made, and I'll just do that manually within the database, and then the calendar will update. Just want to note that I'm going to do that off camera. And sometimes you have to do that when you're developing your application. You want to make sure that things are in parity. So now we're able to click on a calendar entry, click on one of these entries, and we can now edit the schedule. There was a button up here I clicked earlier, so let's look at a different one. That's funny. There's a button that's supposed to be in the upper right here. It says edit schedule, but it just has the edit schedule here. Actually, you know what? That doesn't really bother me, but that button may appear up here sometimes. Anyways, I know you guys can't see it, but there was one there. And then now it's just showing the edit schedule here. Don't really like the placement of that, but we'll roll with it right now. We can always fix that later. Next, we're going to work on deleting a post. So we have the AirShare docs link here, and then some example code, and we'll send that into the AI and see how it does with that. Okay, so we are looking at the calendar. We can look at a selection now, and we can hit the delete button. So that functionality is done. That's wonderful. So now we can modify our schedule and delete posts whenever we want. There's really only one piece of edit functionality like I was going over before, though. You can't edit the content, and it's not showing the title right here. So I may make those changes off camera because those really aren't that big of a deal. The media is not coming down right. So again, this pop-up probably needs a little bit of work, but it does function. And here's the edit schedule button that was supposed to be showing up before, but it seems like when you hit it on one post, it shows like edit functionality for all of them, which is weird. Oh, now my delete button is disappearing. So that's part of testing, right? Seeing how things kind of go wrong when you hit one button. So I'll have to get that fixed up here, but that's pretty minor. That's not that big of a deal. So I'm doing some user testing right now. We're in the calendar. I'm clicking delete on all of these posts because they actually don't exist on AirShare because I don't want live. They're just tests. So we're deleting all of them. It's good to kind of run through things like this and test your program out. And we can go to our database and we can check our posts. There's one post, which that makes sense because there's one on the calendar. So join me as I dive into. So let's go back, see if this is right. Join me as I dive into. Okay, great. So it is that entry. We're going to delete it. We're going to go back to the database. We got to refresh it. And now we have no rows. So that's great. All of the entries are now deleted. That's what we wanted to do. And today is November 21st. As you can see here, if we go back to Smart Post, I'm going to drop in 2 videos, test this out. I'm going to keep them kind of small here. So these are about 65 and 70 megs respectively. Oh, got to select our platform. What am I doing? Okay, again, it's good to test these things out. So we got our preset. I'm actually going to hit shorts. I could save over that preset for that shorts because I shouldn't have to say that every time. So when it errored out on those two, it looks like that's not clearing out the entries. So that'll be another thing for me to, make sure that the UI is right. I also don't like that it goes right to 30%. I don't know why the UI or the AI thought to do progress bars this way. It also gets a little bit funny when it's starting to transcript video because more updates are coming back from my deployed server. Remember, that's the deployed server that we had here on Google Cloud, and it'll run a job and then spit that result back via the webhook. So now it's doing that here, and the percentage is a little ridiculous. So that's, again, another thing to kind of clean up and get better, but you guys are getting the point that we're getting all this functionality in there, and then from there, it's about polishing. So because I didn't select the platform, the videos are still trying to be shown as being uploaded, but they're not going to be. So we need to make that change. We need to fix that bug. So we are describing that to the AI over here and just saying, hey, you shouldn't be trying to add the videos. They should just show an error message and then don't pay attention to those videos at all. So let's have the AI fix that. So with those videos that got uploaded, even though we had the error on the other two, we do have the entry here on the calendar page. So let's try deleting it. But before I do that, I want to show you that on my AirShare, we do have 2 of 2 posts scheduled. So we have it on November 22nd. Go back here, November 22nd. This is in UTC time though. So you're like, wait, that's not matching up. So you got to subtract like 6, I think it is. We're off of 6 of UTC. All right, so we click on that and we hit delete. And it says it's been deleted from AirShare and your calendar. See that in a second here. I didn't show you guys the database, but we saw that on a previous post. So it says 2 of 2. Let's refresh it. Go to scheduled, and it's not deleting it. So we must have a problem with the delete API. So let's check our server logs. It says delete here, and it says success right here, but I can't see the whole JSON. That could be a Boolean state. It could say success false too. So we may have an issue with, we do have an issue with deleting posts. I'll have to see what that is. So I'm gonna take a screenshot of this and send this in. So I use the Smart Post feature to upload another video. Here it is. And let's try the delete function again. Delete this post. Yep, okay, delete it from our calendar. We'll check the console here. Kind of the same readout. So let's see if it actually deleted from AirShare. Let's do a refresh, and still not deleting from AirShare. So got to continue to dig into this and see what's going on. Okay, we have 2 posts. One is a smart post, and that's on the 22nd. Then we have a normal scheduled post on the 26th. So let's click on the 22nd one, and we got our delete button. So let's go ahead and hit delete, confirm it, and that should delete our post. The delete functionality from the database has been working. So yeah, we got one left there. Great. Go back to AirShare, go to schedule post. Okay, we got 1 of 1. We got our test post left. That is the one that we used with the normal post scheduler, not the smart post. So here it is, and we hit delete here. Post deleted successfully. Great. See it gone from the database. Great. And we go back to AirShare. It says 0 of 1 there, but let's refresh it anyways. And it is gone from there as well. So it was actually a deeper bug in terms of posting in general. For some reason, the AI must have messed up something at some point, and the overall post scheduling was not working. So I had to actually discover that and dig into that a bit. So that can happen. That's what's also good about regression testing, which is going back on features that should already work, but can still get messed up. And that can even happen in normal engineering, not just with AI. So it's always good to kind of go back and test overall functionality, make sure something else isn't broken. So now that schedule post functionality is now working, now it is getting the right ID to then delete that post. And we have that functionality all working now. So that is wonderful. This tool is already knocking my socks off, and it's providing me with a lot of value that will save me so much time. I will start using it for my own social media management now, but I will continue adding features to it and have you all along for the ride. Remember to join my free school community, as I will be posting the code there. And I hope you'll join me, and be sure to post there with any questions or feedback. I'll see you in the next one.